What is going on, Jake? Everybody, it's Jake Great from Anime Escape with another My Hero Academia review, episode 21, Sad Man's Parade. Now, my friend BD, shout out to you, you're gonna see this in the group. He was right. After this episode, Twice is my favorite, is like my favorite villain now. Like, he really is. Like, I can't even knock that. It's the truth. So, episode starts off with, sorry, I'm setting up my PlayStation. That way when I'm done, I can just play. So, episode starts off with, Toga and Twice getting jumped by Twice copies, which, like, affects his psychological, you know, pretty much affects his mental because he thinks he's a copy and, you know, if the copy dies, that's the end of everything. So, you know, they jump Twice. They're pretty much like holding him down. The other copies are about to snap Toga's neck, which I was like, let's just put a pin in this. If you're gonna snap somebody's neck, it needs to be like that. Not 5 minutes, not 10 minutes. I know it's an anime, I know it's cartoons, and I know, correction, I know it's anime. Let's scratch that cartoon part. I know a lot of people get offended, and sometimes I do too. But I know it's a show. But if I'm trying to snap someone's neck, it's over and done with. Like, done. If I got the strength to do it, I'm gonna do it. Just putting that out there. Not saying I will, not saying I won't, but it's out there into the world. Back to the topic. So, the copies of Twice are about to snap Toga's neck. And it cuts to Mr. Skeptic, which I did not know that was his name until now. So, and he's like able to like make copies or pretty much control puppets through a computerized machine and whatnot. But instead of doing regular people, he just did puppets of Twice. Since they know his identity, his true identity and everything like that. And they knew his psychological disorder was going to be fucking with him the entire time. That's what they did. So, the whole time, we're going over a backstory of what's going on with Twice. Twice's parents has died when he was in high school. He was completely by himself. Like, he couldn't, like, his jobs and stuff weren't doing good and everything like that. One of the jobs he had, he accidentally hit somebody, and come to find out that was like a partner or like a big person in their clientele that they were working with. He got fired. He started using his abilities, you know, to talk to himself, you know, try to keep himself up and everything. Then he started using his abilities to steal. Like, yeah, like, honestly, if I had that ability, that would be the perfect alibi. Just like outside gardening, and then next thing you know, like at night, like, sir, you know, we saw you robbing a bank at 12 a.m. Not 12 a.m. like 12 p.m. today. You know, cameras have your face. I was like, well, sir, like, if you talk to my neighbors, I was here gardening all day. Like, so obviously it's someone who's fake. Like, but that's no here nor there. So we go over his backstory and why he's so hell-bent on not taking damage, because his copies went crazy trying to figure out who the real one was, who's the real one. Sliced his face open. That's why he has that scar going down the center of his forehead, and left him like psychologically damaged. That's when he met Gyrin, introduced him to the League of Villains, and that's all there. So, you know, he Twice does something unexpected. He actually breaks away from the fake copies and goes to try and save Toga. So Mr. Skeptic pretty much gets the copies to jump him, and I mean jump him, they are jumping him, and then break his arms. Biggest mistake of his life. So when he broke his arms, like, there's literally like a scene before he broke out. Twice broke away from the fake copies. It was like, well, you know, like, I can't take damage. Like, if it's like, I can make copies, but if it like break like a broken arm or anything like that, the copies will disappear. So they break his arms, and he starts crying and smiling, which is the worst possible thing you can do for someone that's a villain. So he realizes he's the real person, like he's been real the entire time. So that makes him breaks past his limits. So he summons, I don't even know how many. It had to be over 1 million copies. So, and not only that, his copies can do copies now. So his copies can make copies of copies of copies, which is just ridiculous. So next thing you know, it is overrunning the city with Twice copies. And it is ridiculous. So he saves Toga. It cuts to Mr. Skeptic and what's his name? Redestro, because we learn his name later. So he's like, Mr. Skeptic, this is a rare failure for you. And Mr. Skeptic's like losing his mind. He's like, only failed once in my life, I've never failed again. And just like walks away. I'm like, all right, whatever. So it turns to Gyron. Gyron says that, you know, getting Twice past his psychological disorder is not something that you've done, because he's literally the one person that can like wipe out the world technically, which is very true. So, you know, it cuts to Dobby and Mr. Compress. Dobby is still fighting the ice user. Was it Gaigen? I think that's what it is. And you know, it's crazy because like Mr. Compress has lost his middle arm. He's like, hey, I need a hand over here. And Dobby's like, the fuck I need to help you for? Like, Dobby's the asshole of the group. I love it. Like, I got a brother named Brandon that's like him. He's like, yo, I need help. What you need my help for? Like, so, and they were discussing something, and then like Dobby was like, I don't need to help you. Just look the guys over there. And like, you see a flood of Twice clones, and everyone's like, Twice? Like, what the fuck? Like, how did you get so many clones? He's like, I broke past my disorder, I'm gone. And then like he starts fighting everybody and everything like that. And Dobby is still fighting Gaigen. I think that's what he was called. And Gaigen starts noticing things like pretty much the hotter the flames Dobby does, the more it charges skin. So, you know, he's pretty much trying to push him past his limit, yada 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 yada. So, if I remember correctly, it cuts to Shigaraki, and I can't remember the other guy. His Corpus Gecko, that's all I remember. He's like the Stain fan, like the hardcore Stain fan. And they're like running towards the tower. And they're talking, and they were like, yeah, you know, everything is, slightly before that. So Mr. Compression was like, Twice, you need to slow down with like trying to fight these people, because, you know, we need, what is it, Gigantomachia? Oh, I said it properly. So Gigantomachia is supposed to be coming in like an hour and 5 minutes. That way he can wreck shit and they can just, you know, be cool. So then it cuts to Shigaraki and Dobby and everything like that. So after that, they run into some more people because they're headed towards the tower. They're really close to the tower. So right as Shigaraki and the Stain cosplayer, I'm just calling Stain cosplayer, run into a whole bunch of people with different corpses and everything. They go to attack, you just see a flood Twice coming to save everybody. And everyone's like, what the fuck is happening? Like, Twice, why are there so many of you? He's like, I overcome my fear, I'm good. And like, pretty much he's like, Shigaraki's like, yeah, you know, that's dope, that's cool, and everything like that. And pretty much, it was crazy because like, Twice is now like flooding the whole city and everything like that. So to a point where it was a plan set up without being set. So what was happening was Twice now has the ability not only to make copies of copies, and he knows he's a real one, but he can make copies of people and use their quirks. Well, I don't think that's new. I think that's old because in the very first episode when they went on the island to train with the Pussycats, that Dobby was using flames. So yeah, that's old. So the Twices are down there fighting a bunch of people. And like Twice gets up to the tower. Like he gets to the top floor, some way, shape, or form. And Twice gets up there and he starts making copies of Shigaraki, Dabi, Mr. Compress, and like their personalities are perfect and it's hilarious. And Dabi's like, who the hell is this guy? Like, it's like the best thing ever. So they go to attack, and then Redespero actually reveals like his quirk without really saying it, and like kills pretty much all the Twice copies. Or at least we think he does. So while that's happening, he's going over everything. Then it cuts back to Splinter. Thank you. I couldn't get this out of my name. He's down there, and they're still fighting like the villains. And I can't remember the other guy's name. He looks like Aizawa with like slick back and just happy. Like, and he comes out on a truck and he does a speech and it rejuvenates everyone in the Liberation Army. Come to find out his quirk, I guess, I don't know, it's just these people who listen to him get rejuvenated. I don't fucking know. So now Spinners is like trying to figure out how to stop him. Cuts back to the tower. Redespero is trying to figure out, or pretty much, you know, tell his story and everything like that. And half of Twice copy is making another copy to get the Gyren. He gets the Gyren. He sees that they were not playing. They kept their word. They cut off his fingers on his right hand. And Dabi was like, not Dabi, but Twice was like, that was his hand that he smoked his natural wood. Right? You know, like, good Lord, he knows too much. The Gyren apologizes for letting the information slip out and stuff like that. So Redespero goes to kill the copy of Twice, and then the copy of Shigaraki pops back up. And they was like, oh, you're alive. He was like, I thought I killed you. And then they're going over back and forth, attacking, dodging. So Redespero grabs the copy of Shigaraki. And he tells him a story about how his mom and Redespero and everything like that. And pretty much he has the bloodline of Destero, so he's Redespero and everything like that. So Shigaraki, without missing bits, like Twice, can you make a cushion for Gyren? It's like, why? Because when he gets here, I forgot what exactly he said, but pretty much he was saying, when he gets here, this tower's gonna fall. And Twice was like, he's here, and just starts, like, before you can do it, all you see is a hand touching the tower, and it crumbles. So, and then, like, everything falls, like, everyone sees the tower crumble and everything like that. So, you see Shigaraki walking up in the crumble. He was like, well, a normal human should have died from that height of a fall. And he's like, you must be the boss. And the episode pretty much ends there. So yeah, I have to give props to my friend Brandon. BD Twice is now like my favorite character. Let's say favorite character, but like my favorite villain. Like he really is. Like he is ridiculous. It's funny. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for staying tuned. I know I skipped like a lot of details. Those are just minor details and things of that nature, but pretty much I gave you the meat and potatoes of the episode. Stay true, stay savage, people, not knowledge. Bye.